Okay, let's go again. So at 2-1-9-2 after that draw against Revenger, who is quite high on the 15-minute auto pairing pool. Rank 14. I was drawing with the rank 14 hit there. Seems like okay, let's go up there. Rank high up. 20 roll. 15-minute. Oh, thankfully, it seems Big Geek is off the list. Good news. Big Geek, who I suspected was an engine cheat. I know many of you didn't sort of believe it, but then they did proceed to get to sort of rank 1 on the 15-minute auto pairing a few days later. Don't know if you remember Big Geek. What was his exact nickname? Let's see if the ratings have been stripped. Okay. Probably good income for the ICC anyway if he wants to come back, create a new account, pay again. Good income for the rest of the normal players. That basically multiple income from one person if they do want to come back. So maybe it's not all bad if Big Geek's removed, but on the way, of course, destroying the egos of those that are trying to improve their game and thinking they're rubbish or something, because they've just been beaten very clean, clinical, in a clean, clinical manner. So that's why I believe it's important to try and clean up the auto pairing on occasion. Even if that does create a storm of controversy, sometimes it's worth it. Otherwise, you know, a lot of title players will be put off playing on this thing. So anyway, HauntedHorse. We've had Warhorse recently. Now we're going to have I'll play my pet system like Nc3 Nxf4. Can't find Big Geek's actual nickname. But anyway, doesn't seem to be on the ranking list. So Grand Prix attack with Bishop C4, I think. Give that a punt again. Bishop C4 with A3 is the idea. Just to sort of gain a bit more time on the clock, really. If I know more what I'm doing with this. But the classical plan E6 and D5 is dangerous. Now it depends how accurately this is going to be played by black. I might not end up with any advantage. I might end up, pardon me, with a slight disadvantage. So recent results on the 15-minute. He did lose his last one. There's some mixed results, but okay. Oh, it was Big Geek 942. So what's the news on Big Geek 942? Oh no, he's still got his rating. No, okay, he's just not in the top for the 15-minute. Oh no, last disconnected January the 11th. Maybe he's got bored of it or something. Oh yes, because that rating list, I think you have to have activity in the last week to be on the rating list. That's why Big Geek 942 is not on the rating list. Otherwise, it would be 2383. So that actual pool is of the active players then. Now, if we do rank Big Geek 942, I think that will force to work out the ranking based on that rating. So it's not an active rating. It would be rank 2 to Garpon at 2383 based on the current active players. Now, I had this before in an over the board. Why are people tempted for this? I'll go for this pawn sack again. Following my last over the board game. Blimey. This is not funny. It was very funny, actually. Okay, so what's going to happen? I mean, why is this a temptation? Bishop c3. That's a genuine temptation to play bishop c3 here for d takes e4. Maybe people think it's really effective for d5. That white should be worried about this. Bishop c3 and d takes e4 as well. That's just the tactical implication. I thought the main implication was strategic. And now this looks like, you know, dark squares, here we come time. So anyway, okay. Maybe that's a good policy, just to keep showing only the active that have had rated results in the last week. Very good idea for the rating list. What do you guys think of that? So here, bishop d2, queen c2. I don't want to give up the light square bishop to knight c3 and knight a2, so I think I'm going to do something about that. Maybe queen c2 here for a moment, or even bishop b2 would seem to threaten knight f4. I'm really playing this position well, considering my over the board experience of it so far. The analysis, in my analysis, I'm playing really badly. But queen c2, I think, is better now, an improvement. Yes, queen c2. Let's go for that. Hopefully, was queen f6. I wonder if that's worth looking at. It does seem to win a pawn. Castle. Knight c3, there's bishop b2. Takes if queen, knight c3, bishop b2. There's check. I can't. My queen's going to be attacked. I can lose f4 and castle. You can take on g5 with his queen, then bishop f4. I think I'll go for that. So castle, bishop, queen f6, bishop d2, knight f4, castle. Queen g5, bishop f4, 2 pawns up, but dark squares, here we come still. So I think bishop d2 is probably the way to do it. If queen f6. So queen f6 hits 2 weaknesses at the same time. Okay. So in the current list on the top of the 15-minute, you got Garpon 2430, then it goes down to Walter 2351, Hurd 2346, Negersberg 2329, rank 5 is Jozik 2303, then you got Tony Rowe at 2301, rank 7 is 2296. Now my current rank here with 2192 out of the 2,636 active in the last week is ranked 28. So I'm celebrating this because it's probably, I know I might be on the way down if I lose like a single game and may never see this again, but it's cool to be in the top 30 here. So anyway, I know it's just online rating. I say online is not as painful and it's not as significant as over the board. On the other hand, it's a lot more fun often. Okay. To play online as well as convenient. So you got officialdom and sort of seriousness on one hand, and serious pain if you lose or whatever, and just fun entertainment on the other, and convenience with online chess. Alright, so after all that, I have to sack another pawn, basically the decision to win another pawn. Okay. So bishop d2 it is, I think, for castling. King's Gambit style. Get the f-file. Developing another piece. Hopefully these are spectator pieces, and okay. I'm going to end up losing all my pawns but winning on time at this rate. Now there's a Bronstein game where he did actually lose all his pawns. I wonder if I can find it, or if it's actually, maybe I shouldn't find games which might be deemed relevant to this game, but another time there's a game in there he definitely loses all his pawns and wins in time pressure. It's quite funny. Or after an adjournment, I think they had adjournments in tournaments, believe it or not, before computers. That probably relates to Kotov's tree of analysis, because can you imagine, as an adjournment tool, you wanted teams of people working on your position. You could delegate people with candidate moves and stuff, maybe, with the candidate move system. Knight E2 check here, I haven't factored in. King H1 doesn't seem totally winning, so that's good news. So getting a development advantage, getting quality's going up. If we graph this, material's going down right now. So quality keeps going up. No panic. Material going down. Dark squares, still here we come with bishop d6 on the cards as well. I'm still quite optimistic with this position. Queen f5, bishop d6. Maybe, you know, bishop c4 has got a really bad reputation compared to bishop b5. And as such, if people think d5 and bishop c3 is good, it's definitely worth playing. Bishop h6, I can just stop him castling. Quality's definitely going up. Bishop g7, I'll have compensation. I think bishop g7, bishop f6, you know, I think I'm going to do that. Too tempting. Stopping castling kingside. Or in fact, you know, even queen f2, crudely threatening mate as well, instead of bishop g7 first, might be more accurate. Forcing something like horrible, gruesome like f5. But you might say, well, you know, hang on, there's queen f2 takes c5 there. Actually, so queen f2 is actually a double attack on f7 and c5. Better than bishop g7, surely. He could prompt bishop to move with queen h4 and stop queen f2, but he just moved his queen back there. You know, as humans, we don't usually like to retract our moves, even if they might be the best move. So queen h4 might be the best move. But okay, so bishop g7, rook g8 does rule out queen f2, queen h4. But then bishop g7, rook g8, bishop f6 actually. So he can't castle. I evict the queen, then I later play queen f2 maybe. What else to do with the queen anyway? I think I'm going to take my queen f2 here. Unless rook f7, check, queen f6. Nothing much there. So I think queen f2. I'm on my c5. I'm going to actually gain a pawn back. Quality versus material graph. I'm actually gaining some material unexpectedly. Nope, I'm not. He's good with his old material. Bishop g5 though. Bit of a deflection, drag and drop. Queen f7, win the rook. I think I'll go for that. Can he defend two pawns at the same time? This might hurt him to lose a pawn. Or queen f8 saves both pawns, of course. Then he can't castle queenside either now that the bishop's there. If I play bishop f6, I also stop f5. And there's more central control with the bishop. So queen c5 is the question. Now I pin that knight. There's no stopping castling. Oh, there's queen b6. Cheeky. Queen b6. Get rid of the queens. That would have been a nightmare. King h1 first, I think. Keep the tension on. So queen c5 really is on now. That was nearly a horrible accident. So keep the fun going. Rook e1, bishop e6 maybe, and then aiming for a brilliant mate. He does something about this pawn now. b6, as though he's going to fianchetto the bishop, but then he's weakening e6 against rook e1, bishop e6. That will be made a bit more effective. So b6, rook a e1, bishop b7, bishop e6 looks devastation. King in the center, total devastation. And I'm actually threatening queen c5. So say b6, bishop, rook e1, bishop d7, queen f6. well no, bishop d7 has queen f7. His queen's got to protect, so I'm going to do that. His queen's got to protect f7 here, and bishop b7 I think fells to bishop e6 now, so he's going to run out of moves at this rate. But where is the knockout blow? Do I need to look for a knockout blow? Maybe just d4 takes d5, knight moves de, shreds the king in the centre. These pieces are all optimal quality. There's no going up on the quality graph. My bishops are ideal, my rooks are ideal, the queen's ideal. There's queen f7, just mate. It's ended the torture. Okay, 2195. Now, let's have a quick look at that. So, an odd temptation for I was just saying there's no ball for it. So bishop takes c3 does seem to be a tempting idea. Wonderful. Just pawn sec, that turned out okay. Video, I'm just giving them a video link, I think. So it was this it's just a dream position really. The only thing stumbling point was allowing queen exchange with queen c5 for queen b6. Absolute dream position out of this. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.